multidisciplinary and multifaceted. We have agricultural economists, we have agricultural agronomists, we have horticulturists, fisheries, people that specialize in land. So this bill seeks to create an institute that will regulate the practice and discipline of these professions in agriculture.
Thank you very much for your time.
You're welcome.
Well, the second bill that passed for second reading is a bill that seeks to ensure that agriculture is mechanized in the country. It's now back to the studio.
Ignatius Nkwo there for us at the National Assembly. And the Speaker of the House of Representatives, Yakubu Dogara, has hosted Muslims legislators from the North Central and Southeast to Iftar, the breaking of fast. Rabi Musa reports that the gathering was a forum for practical demonstration of Nigeria's sense of unity in nation building, cutting across religious and ethnic inclinations. The atmosphere offered the legislators an avenue to enjoy sumptuous meal with socialization away from the regular deliberations of the House with chief legislators' procedures. The Speaker, in the spirit of Ramadan, implored Nigerians to pray for their leaders for the good of the country.
Use this opportunity to pray for leadership, beginning from Mr. President to the Vice President, down to the lowest rung of the ladder of authority in this country. Pray also for the National Assembly.
The Speaker is expected to host some other groups for the Iftar from various parts of the country and socio-political associations. Still staying with the National Assembly has emphasized that the bill for an act to establish Constituency Development Fund is all-encompassing, as it will enable even development of constituencies in the Federation of Nigeria. This was at a one-day public hearing organized by the House Committee on Constituency Outreach. National Assembly correspondent Ifeanyi Ezumba reports.
The idea and practice of constituency projects has been the subject of much debate for some time now, when it became the norm for the legislature to converse for provision for constituency projects in the appropriation bill. Some of the area of controversy include the fact that there is no law backing the practice of constituency development funds. Declaring the occasion open, the Speaker in a message said the legislature is the most notable symbol of democracy because they are composed of elected representation whose role is to make, review and repeal laws as well as serve as watchdogs.
This is the vehicle that helps the legislature to intervene between the populace and the government.
Further to these responsibilities, the legislators provide empowerment and other facilities in the most remote areas of our constituencies that are usually overlooked during funds allocations in the national budget.
The Minister of Power Works and Housing, Babatunde Fashola, said he appreciates the bill because it will bring to the knowledge of the electorate what lawmaking is all about. Other contributions.
We sincerely do apologize for that abrupt end to that report. Now, let's turn our attention to some of the other stories making news today. Public and private partnership have been identified as key towards achieving a robust healthcare delivery system. FCT Minister Mohammed Musa Bello restated this at the official opening of Baupe Primary Health Center, rehabilitated by a non-governmental organization. Hakimat Ali reports that the minister was represented by the General Manager, Hospital Services Management Board, Dr. Aminu May.
Despite the importance of health facilities in every community, Baupe, a Gbagi settlement in Kuje Area Council, has been lagging behind as the primary health care center in the area was not functional for over a decade. The intervention by Sam Empowerment Foundation, which was founded by the U.S. Mission Nigeria, has given the center a facelift with equipment to make quality health services accessible to the community. Representative of the FCT Minister, Dr. Aminu Mai, commended the organization for this initiative, which will help reduce maternal and newborn mortality in the area.
This is the only way to go because government alone cannot do this. So, and this is a typical example where you have a non-governmental organization getting support for funding from another government or another non-governmental organization and coming to rehabilitate this facility and making the facility functional. And we need to encourage more collaboration and partnerships.
President of the SAM Empowerment Foundation, Aisha Achimugu, said the project is part of its social responsibility.
We visited the community 2 years ago. Amongst one of the communities we visit on our normal outreaches, healthcare, education, maternal mortality was a major challenge in this community. When we came here, we met quite a number of huge statistics of malaria, which we were able to eradicate. We did all that, and then for us to sustain that, we just saw there was a need for us to put this back.
My people didn't get pregnant or they are sick. As the town where this primary health care is not good, we used to go private hospital, Ako Olube, or inside town. And this woman, when she came our area, I'm really happy with her. She's a nice woman.
Residents of Baukwe were advised to ensure the facility is well maintained and utilized. In Abuja, Hakimat Aliu, NTA News.
Dangote Group of Companies has signed a memorandum of understanding with Nasarawa State government to establish a multi-billion naira sugar factory in the state. Linda Okorie-Igwe reports that the factory is expected to produce 480 tons of sugar.
Signed, sealed and delivered.
The president of the company, Aliko Dangote, says the sugar factory, which will be located in Tunga, Away local government area of Nasarawa State, will create over 30,000 jobs and 10,000 growers and also generate 96 megawatts of electricity to serve the community.
Today we have aligned ourselves with the present government's policy of diversifying the economy by a renewed focus on the non-oil sectors like manufacturing, agriculture, and mining.
The governor of Nasarawa State expressed satisfaction with the decision of Dangote to invest in the state, promised to provide the enabling environment for him.
This development is the fallout of deliberate government policies to attract private investment by providing avenues for ease of doing business.
The governor also appealed to the people to safeguard the factory when established. Linda Okorie-Igwe, NTA News.
Now, health unions meet in Lagos. This and more reports as we join Demola in our Lagos Network Center. Demola.
Joseph, good afternoon and warm welcome to Lagos. Evolving strategies to protecting the ocean for Nigeria's social-economic benefit has been emphasized by participants at a lecture in commemoration of the 2017 World Ocean Day. Amechi Pius reports that the theme for the year is Our Ocean, Our Future.
The ocean covers about 3/4 of the Earth's surface. It provides food and nutrients, regulates climate, and absorbs about 30% carbon dioxide by humans. However, this all-important gift of nature has come under immense pressure by human activities. This lecture, organized by the Nigerian Institute for Oceanography and Marine Research, is to promote awareness on the economic and social benefits of the ocean to man.
We should now start to think about plastic and containers that are biodegradable. That way, it will minimize the plastics that are thrown into the ocean.
Guest lecturer at the forum, Dr. Femi Oyedimo, spoke on the topic Ocean as a resource for national development, threats and challenges. He identified marine pollution, deep mining and illegal fishing as threats to the ocean.
We need people to key into the management of environment, because when you don't have people to support you, you know it's not cheap to run any program on television or radio.
So ensure that there's prevention of illegal fishing in our waters.
Participants at the lecture, which includes representatives of the Monitoring of the Environment and Safety in Africa, MESA, advocated a collaborative approach to protecting the ocean and maximize opportunities for sustainable economic growth and development. In Lagos, Amechi Pius, NTA News.
Nigeria as a nation has potentials to boost economy through culture and tourism. This was re-echoed at a seminar on information communication technology and finance as catalyst for tourism and culture in a diversified economy in Lagos. It was organized by Waka About Africa as part of its 5th anniversary conference in Lagos. Tunde Saiki reports.
This forum, diversification was identified as a way out. Tourism and cultural rejuvenation are among such suggestions. The Minister of Information and Culture, Lai Mohammed, who was represented, noted that this present administration is set to exploit these areas, even in collaborating with other organizations to achieve breakthroughs. He said the advent of the ICT has not only made the world a global village, but rather a village square, and the use of the ICT for tourism will be supported.
There are so many tourist spots in this country, so many tourist artifacts, so many tourist materials that we have not really explored.
We can therefore highlight how ICT can improve the culture and tourism potentials so that as government focuses to make this industry to become very active, to find ICT as an enabler.
Organizers of the seminar said the lecture is to stimulate stakeholders, government and other interest groups on how the nation's tourism and culture can be harnessed.
We have the technological know-how and ability to develop ourselves to show that the black man can also technologically compete with the white man.
And the next better alternative business that is available for Nigerian economy apart from oil is tourism.
We have food tourism, we have medical tourism. So let them inculcate into all this.
Other discussants noted that the need has come for not only government, but rather individuals, financial institutions to invest in tourism. In Lagos, Tunde Saiki, NTA News.
Plans are on by the Pharmaceutical Society of Nigeria and the Nigerian Medical Association to synergize with other health unions in the country on ways to build a responsive health system in Nigeria. This was revealed by the president of the Pharmaceutical Society of Nigeria, Hamid Yakasai, at a meeting with leaders of other health unions in Lagos. Joy Ken Abakoya has the detail.
For some time now, institutions and unions in the Nigerian health sector have been embroiled in various issues ranging from poor remuneration, battle for supremacy, infighting to counter activism. This meeting by the health unions is to discuss and come up with lasting solutions to the many issues that plague the sector. President Pharmaceutical Society of Nigeria says the meeting is apt following efforts by the federal government to boost activities of health practitioners in the country. He also hinted the plans are underway to ensure that local production of vaccines, beginning with yellow fever vaccine, becomes a reality.
It's a good thing that we start our own. We generate employment, we conserve forex, we can even export to other countries.
President of the Medical Association of Nigeria, who agreed that local production of vaccines will curb the spread of vaccine-preventable diseases, says a medical seal that will curb quackery in the profession will be launched soon.
That seal will bear some security features. That seal will bear the name of the doctor. That seal will bear the serial number of that doctor in the registrar of Medical Council.
Representatives of other health unions say they will collaborate in the area of research, drug handling, clinical trials, and working relationship. At the end of the meeting, the unions agreed that an interprofession committee will be initiated to fast-track the strategies to put the nation's health sector on the right track to reduce medical tourism. In Lagos, Joy Ken Abakoya, NTA News.
There cannot be economic growth and stability without mechanism capable of mobilizing resources for capital and recurrent expenditure in any given country. This is where the significance of capital market comes into play. Abolade Salami in this report takes a look at how the capital market has impacted the Nigerian economy, challenges and prospects.
The financial market comprises the money and capital markets,
This market enables governments and industries to raise long-term capital for financing new projects, expansion and modernizing industrial commercial concerns. With the provision of equity capital, companies can avoid over-reliance on debt financing. This is, however, not unconnected with the various economic reforms, including the regulation of the financial sector.
So we've seen significant improvement in liquidity within the market. We've gone from doing about $5 million a day to more like $20 million a day in the last 1 week.
The capital market is, however, not immune to challenges and complexities. This arises from trends in globalization and increased variety of new instruments.
You can't take the capital market out of the economy. So when the economy was going through a challenging period, the capital market also experienced same. But with the right policies put in place, with the right regulations, we can see in the last few weeks that there has been some activity, some improvement in the performance of the market.
We think that given some of the improvements in policies, the market is probably poised for a rebound.
Lately, economic and financial policies of the Central Bank of Nigeria has played a significant role in repositioning the capital markets to effectively carry out its primary function of channeling funds to business and investments.
The import-export FX window that was just created a little over 2 weeks ago is having very positive impact and positive news that is coming out of the Nigerian economy, improvement in oil output, stability in prices of oil.
The survival rates of listed companies quoted on the Nigerian Stock Exchange attest to the fact that economic policies in the country, when consistently implemented, can bring about much needed domestic borrowing to boost infrastructural development and ensure economic recovery. In Lagos, Abolade Salami, NTA News.
Well, that's our contribution from Lagos. Is back to you, Joseph, for more on Nationwide. Good afternoon.
Damola, thanks a lot. Now, let's turn our attention to the UK, because even as Britain reels its third terror attack in 3 months, British and other nationals legally resident in the United Kingdom have exercised their franchise to elect members of parliament in the 650 constituencies across the kingdom in a snap general election. Correspondent Abilkisu Abdurazak Odoye reports that it was a smooth exercise with heightened security in some parts of the capital.
It is general election day in the UK, but the streets are not deserted and people can be seen going about their normal businesses despite the recent scare and upsurge in terrorist attacks in the country. In this polling unit in Lambeth Brixton, all is quiet, save for a few officials and voters who take few minutes to get identified before casting their votes.
You can see there's no queue. People can just come in anytime to vote and leave, and no security people around. And this is how elections should be conducted.
Yeah, no queuing. It was all very well explained. I had a poll card to begin with, so all the details were there.
The process was very simple. I encourage people to go out there and vote.
Although voting by proxy or post is allowed, the doors of polling stations are open at 7 a.m. till 10 p.m. For now, it is unclear where the pendulum will swing in light of the upsurge in terrorist attacks among issues of Brexit, immigration, economy, and the National Health Service. In London, Bilkisu Abdurazak Odoye, NTA News.
Back home to the Judiciary, where the Code of Conduct Tribunal has reserved ruling on the no-case submission filed by the Senate President Abubakar Bukola Saraki in his trial over alleged false declaration of assets after completing argument on the submission. Ali Tukru tells us more now.
Senate President Abubakar Bukola Saraki urged the tribunal to dismiss the false asset declaration case against him on grounds that no prima facie case has been established. He told the tribunal that from the 18-count charge, he had not been linked in any way to the allegations against him. Counsel to the Senate President Kanu Agabi argued that the prosecution failed to establish the charges, and as such, there is no need for him to be ordered to enter his defense. He said throughout the prosecution's case, the reports of the investigation and the petitions were not made available to the tribunal for verification, and that none of the petitioners were invited as witness in the charges against the defendant. Agabi said that the charges were founded on faceless petitions, therefore urged the tribunal to dismiss the charges in order to discourage writers of such petitions. Prosecution counsel Rotimi Jacobs insisted that a prima facie case has been established to warrant the defendant to be called upon by the tribunal to enter his defense. He drew the attention of the tribunal to some asset declaration forms of the defendant, adding that investigation has established false asset declaration. Rotimi Jacobs maintained that a person can be prosecuted even without a petition against him. He also told the tribunal that discharging the defendant on no case level will defeat the fight against corruption and the purpose of the tribunal.
There is no way prosecution made out a case in any given situation that the defense will not file a no case submission. It has become the tradition.
Really what we did for the defendants is to show that in each of those counts there are essential elements of the offense that were not proved.
Chairman of the tribunal, Danladi Umar, announced that the tribunal will sit to decide on no case argument and that a date for ruling will be communicated to both parties once the ruling is ready. In Abuja, Aliu Tukur, NTA News.
In the meantime, arguments over the recall of justices earlier suspended by the National Judicial Council (NJC) continued today on the Good Morning Nigeria as legal experts examined the matter. Kunle Adeyeye reports.
Guests were unanimous that the judiciary is at all times required to be above board as their pronouncements are a matter of life and death. They, however, differed on the controversy surrounding the recall of judges and justices who were accused of corruption. Senior Special Assistant to the President on Prosecution, Okoye Obono Obla, insisted that the arrest of the judges has dented their credibility and their recall is hasty as the matter has not been concluded.
How do you now recall a judge whose case has not been heard, the appeal has not been heard, it has not been cleared? That alone is enough for Justice Ademola not to sit because there's this, the allegation of being corrupt, of receiving bribes, is still hanging around him.
Constitutional lawyers Professor Maxwell Gidado and Festus Okoye had a different opinion.
What the agency has set, the example they have set, should not just end with the judges, but it should replicate itself all around the courts and in the entire country.
After 8 months, if you have not framed charges against these judicial officers, allow them to go back to their work.
A member of the National Judicial Council, Dr. Tetengi Garba, said the bar and the bench support the fight against corruption, but due process must be followed in order to strengthen institutions.
The National Judicial Council has also identified itself with fighting corruption. If you look at Article 6 of its National Judicial Policy, which was launched last year.
Viewers who contributed via the social media called for all stakeholders to work together in fighting corruption and ensuring the sanctity of the judiciary. In Abuja, Kunle Adeyeye, NTA News.
The Police High Command is to establish more squadrons and special protection units in states of the Federation as part of measure to respond to emerging security challenges. Inspector General of Police Ibrahim Idris stated this at a meeting with all the commissioners of police and above at the force headquarters. He also emphasized that the police has the responsibility of maintaining law and order, and warned that no single person or group has the power to stop movement of persons and goods.
All of us will be alert that anybody or any group, individual or group, that attempt to prevent any Nigerian, from carrying out his daily activities, we have responsibility to ensure those guys are stopped by all means. Every police commissioner is in charge of every police unit in your state command.
We must change our lawless habits, our attitude to public office, and public trust. We must change our unruly behavior in schools, hospitals, marketplaces, motor parks, on the roads, in homes and offices, to bring about change We must change.
NTA. Is food still the way to a man's heart? If not, what else? This edition is hot and juicy. Meet your star faces on screen. Entertainment, fashion, young minds, social media, and great personality.
This is idiosyncratic and heterodox.
Yeah. Yes, Professor John Bull is on the radar. Find out what makes this program the rave of the moment on NTA Network, and for the Prof,
over and out.
TV Guide. Ask your vendors or book your copy at every NTA station nationwide. TV Guide, still your indispensable companion.
Imagine being without your phone for 2 weeks. Imagine being without your car for 2 weeks. Imagine being without electricity for 2 weeks. Yeah, 2 weeks is definitely a big deal. Subscribe for 2 months on any bouquet and get 2 weeks free of exciting content like the International Champions Cup, the FIFA Confederations Cup, and all FIFA competitions, SpongeBob, Dora the Explorer, and so much more. So, go ahead and subscribe for 2 months and get 2 weeks free. Keep the children and the entire family entertained during the summer holiday, and they will definitely thank you for it. Store Times. Enjoy digital life.
My name is Hadiza Mohammed from Bauchi. I'm one of the beneficiaries of Empower program. Yes, I graduated since 2010. The little money I got from my NYSC, I decided to start something with it. That is, I started selling firewood and recharge cards to take my family, my aged parents and my siblings to school. I was possessed to one village. You understand? You know, I'm a degree holder, so I don't have much experience in teaching. So I have to, when I look at the children, I say, look, I have to do this thing. Even those that have experience, they are not better than I do. You know, the children are willing to come to school, but there are no teachers in that village. So I said, Kai, let me help these children. I'm also a graduate. Let me help them. Let them know how to read and write. Let them know how to read and write just the way I am. Let me try my best and see that they have gained something too, through me. We pray that Almighty Allah should give the president sound health.
You're welcome back. You're watching NTA Nationwide with me, Joseph Johnson. Now, let's join Suleiman Abdullahi in our Kaduna Network Center for more stories from that zone.
Kaduna, Joseph. The Edo State government has strongly condemned the inciting speech by the Northern Youths Group, which gave the Igbos residing in the northern part of Nigeria the ultimatum to relocate before October 1st. The senior special assistant to the governor media and publicity, Samuel Arian, led the condemnation at a press conference in Kaduna. Muhammad Umar Ajingi reports.
The inciting communique issued by some people suspected to be self-appointed Northern Youth Group sought to infringe on the fundamental human right of the Igbo people to reside in different parts of the North has generated reactions from all spheres of the society, including the Arewa Consultative Forum, Northern Elders, as well as the Kaduna State.
We apologize for the poor audio quality from our Kaduna Network Center. Moving on now, the Nigerian Television Authority says it will continue to support the nation's financial literacy drive. Director General of the NTA, Yakubu Ibn Muhammad, made the promise when he received a team from the Securities and Exchange Commission in his office. Victor Azu reports.
The Technical Committee on Financial Literacy was set up by the Securities and Exchange Commission to help young Nigerians acquire financial literacy that will help the economy grow. They were at the Nigerian Television Authority to seek collaboration of the NTA for a successful campaign.
It's our duty to extend capital market knowledge to the nation at large. The main purpose of our comment is to seek your partnership in some of our programs. That's a national essay competition for tertiary institutions and our national quiz competition for secondary schools.
Executive Director Finance Fatima Bada received them on behalf of the Director General of the NTA.
We will give you the much needed support and we'll be, so as to be able to head your various programs which you have mentioned to take your message to the grassroots.
The technical committee was constituted to drive the integration of the capital market literacy programs into the overall financial literacy agenda. In Abuja, Victor Azu, NTA News.
And now, well, we've been able to establish links with our Port Harcourt Network Center. Let's rejoin them now as Dibabari tells us the latest in that zone. Dibabari, you're on now.
Good evening. Welcome to Port Harcourt. Edo State House of Assembly has called on the Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) to expand the ongoing continuous voters registration exercise to wards and polling centers in the state. The call is sequel to a resolution from a motion sponsored by Majority Leader of the House, Dr. Peter Akbe. State Assembly correspondent Aya Prezi has the details.
The peculiar terrain of Bayelsa requires a special consideration and treatment for any national assignment like the ongoing continuous voter registration exercise to succeed. The motion on the need for INEC to expand the ongoing continuous voters registration centers to ward and polling units levels is to prevent the enfranchisement of large number of Bayelsans since the machines deployed for registration are not sufficient. Sponsor of the motion, Dr. Peter Akbe, who represents Sagbama Constituency 1, expressed concern over the physical and financial stress Bayelsans go through just to participate in the exercise.
When opportunities are not properly created for people to harness, then marginalization will be a consistent index.
Members contributing to the debate expressed dissatisfaction with the decision of INEC to limit whole local government areas to one machine each. This, they said, is unrealistic and a gross show of lack of commitment to achieve success in the state. Speaker of the House Friday Kombowe Benson questioned the rationale for unduly exposing Bayelsans to unnecessary physical and financial challenges just to get registered in the voter register.
Why must we always be allowed to protest on issues that others get without any more stress?
The House adjourned till next sitting. From the Bayelsa State House of Assembly, Aya Prezi, NTA News.
Stakeholders on environment are of the view that this year's theme on the World Environment Day, connecting people to nature, is very instructive to the people of Niger Delta region. Kingsley Major reports.
Pollution of the environment is a common feature in the Niger Delta region, of which Rivers State experience a greater percentage of the impact on its environment. Thus, the theme of this year's World Environment Day, which implores residents to get outdoor and into nature to appreciate its beauty and its importance, and in turn take forward the call to protect the arts, becomes relevant. Here in Rivers State, to mark the day, various stakeholders use the day to draw attention to the environmental challenges affecting the state, calling for radical measures to stem the tide. For the authorities at the Nostra,
we can connect back to nature by having trees here that will take away the excess carbon dioxide in the air.
The National Coordinator of National Coalition on Gas Flaring and Oil Spill in Niger Delta, Reverend Father Edward Obi, said his organization is concerned about residents' approach to waste disposal, which contribute to polluting the environment.
Each individual must make up their own minds today to say that first, something as small as not ever throwing anything out of your car window.
Experts in the campaign for tree planting believe that trees absorb carbon dioxide and other potential harmful gases in the environment. In Port Harcourt, Kingsley Amajiri, NTA News.
The European Union water and sanitation programs across states in the Niger Delta region was conceived to address the water needs of impacted communities and help checkmate waterborne diseases in the region. However, there are rising concerns from stakeholders in the affected communities for commitment on the part of River State government to pay its counterpart funding to enable the communities to reap the gains. Again, Kingsley Amajiri reports.
The oil exploration and exploitation over the years left many communities negatively impacted, affecting their ecosystem. Water and sanitation in these communities became a serious challenge. The intervention of the European Union in water and sanitation is seen by many community leaders as timely. Here in Rivers State, Kola, Abonima, Abise in Akokotoro local government area and Opobo Nkoro local government area were earmarked to benefit from the project. This opportunity to many leaders in these communities was indeed a relief. The European Union is to provide 70% of the fund. The state government is to provide 25%, while the communities are to pay 5% as a demonstration of their interest in the project. The leaders appreciate the effort of the state government with the release of the first 100 million naira counterpart funding. There are fears, however, that if the balance of 50% from the River State government is not paid, these communities in River State may lose this golden opportunity.
We know that there are so many things in the South that they don't fall available. But people will leave this project back.
The 1 billion naira water sanitation project is seen among many quarters as a project that will create jobs while also meeting the water needs of the affected communities. In Port Harcourt, Kingsley Amajiri, NTA News.
And as our contribution from Nationwide is over now to Joseph for the continuation of Nationwide.
Thank you, Dibabari. Transportation, as one of the major priorities of the present administration, has been receiving a boost, hence the revival of the rail transport sector. In the Federal Capital Territory, the Abuja Light Rail project, which was neglected by past administrations, is currently near completion due to the efforts and commitment of the FCT administration, led by the FCT Minister Mohammed Musa Bello. In this report, Salwa Khalil Ibrahim takes a look at the Abuja Light Rail project so far and its socio-economic potentials in the territory. The report.
Abuja Light Rail project was conceived and contracted by the then government of former President Olusegun Obasanjo in May 2007. Since then, the project received little or no attention by successive governments. However, upon assumption into office in 2015, the FCT Minister Mohammed Musa Bello made the Abuja Light Rail project among the top priorities of his administration. The project, which is divided into 6 lots, of which Lot 1 and 3 are 93% completed, will connect some area councils and satellite towns through the city center. It will also service about 1.5 million people daily along the eastern and western corridors of the FCT, thereby playing a significant role in the city in the near and far future.
The test run of the Lot 1A and 3, the test run is going to begin in September, October, November 2017 this year. Then the commercial operations will be next year, first quarter of next year. So obviously it's going to have positive impact in reducing the problems commuters are facing now. And don't forget that for you to have an effective transportation system that will be cheap and affordable and also at the same time move people massively, you need the rail system to do that.
Some FCT residents expressed confidence in the project.
It's one of the things that may benefit the people and ease transportation's crisis that is affecting Abuja. And it will also help and boost economic and other social activities.
Rail transportation, I know, in everywhere is a very cheap means of transportation, so we just hope it comes alive.
They have to look at the ability of the project itself to be able to yield the amount of revenue that will be able to keep that project ongoing.
Upon completion, the Abuja Metro Rail system will no doubt ease transportation challenges, create job opportunities, attract investment and generate huge revenue for the government, as well as fast-track the overall development of the territory. In Abuja, Salwa Khalil Ibrahim, NTA News.
I've just been told that we've been able to rectify the audio challenge in our Kaduna Network Center. Let's join them this time. Suleiman, you good to go?
Thanks, Joseph, for joining us in Kaduna. Kaduna State government has strongly condemned the inciting speech by the Northern Youth Group, which gave the Igbos residing in the northern part of Nigeria an ultimatum to relocate before October 1st. The senior special assistant to the governor on media and publicity, Samuel Arwan, made the condemnation at a press conference in Kaduna. Mohammed Umar Ajingi reports.
The inciting communique issued by some people suspected to be self-appointed Northern Youth Group sought to infringe on the fundamental human right of the Igbo people to reside in different parts of the North, has generated reactions from all spheres of the society, including the Arewa Consultative Forum, Northern elders, as well as the Kaduna State government. The senior special assistant to the state governor on media and publicity, Samuel Arwan, while interacting with journalists, said the state government has since ordered the arrest and investigation of the signatories of the communique.
This government has been consistent in taking action to punish hate speech and incitement. People who may feel unhappy about irresponsible comments or actions that have taken place in other states must know that two wrongs cannot make a right.
The SA media to the governor assured residents of Kaduna that their constitutional right to stay anywhere in the state will be protected. In Kaduna, I am Muhammad Umar Ajingi, NTA News.
Minister of Defense Mansur Muhammad Dang Ali has charged the newly commissioned officers of the Nigerian Army to apply knowledge and skills acquired during their training in tackling the security challenges bedeviling the nation. He stated this at the Nigerian Army School of Infantry passing out parade and oath-taking ceremony for cadets of Direct Short Service Commission Course 23, 2016. Ahmad Muhammad Usman reports.
These are the 200 newly commissioned Nigerian Army infantry officers pledging their loyalty to the nation while being decorated as lieutenants and majors in the Nigerian Army. Minister of Defense Mansur Muhammad Ali said the Direct Short Service Course program aims at producing professionals in various disciplines, including engineering, law, and medicine, to fill available vacancies within the Nigerian Army.
72 doctors. You can see how the men and officers will be handled by this crop of officers when they pass out. So we are showing the concern for the armed forces, their medical welfare, their services, and other things that are supposed to be given to them.
Officers that excel were awarded. In Kaduna, Haman Muhammad Usman, NTA News.
Still on defense matters, the Nigerian Air Force is committed to becoming self-sufficient in the provision of military uniforms and hardwares necessary for its smooth operations. Chief of Air Staff, Air Marshal Sadiq Baba Abubakar, said this at the inauguration of the Nigerian Air Force Investment Tailoring Workshop in Kaduna. Ahmad Muhammad Usman again has details.
Before now, uniforms and some hardware of the Nigerian Air Force are sourced abroad, thereby exerting pressure on Nigeria's foreign exchange. With the rethinking by the current leadership of the service, cheap and less sensitive hardware for operations will now be sourced locally. The Air Chief said the development is in line with the federal government policy of building capacity for self-reliance.
So with this facility within reach, first, it saves foreign exchange. We don't have to buy uniform from outside. The next step we are trying to make sure we engage the textile companies in Nigeria to see if we can get the material required so that we don't have to buy this material outside.
The tailoring workshop consists of a total of 86 different industrial tailoring multipurpose machinery for training airmen recruited in the force as tailors. In Kaduna, Haman Muhammad Usman, NTA News.
And that report ends the news. From here, it's back to Abuja, who has more reports on Nationwide. Joseph, over to you.
Abdullahi from Kaduna Network Center there. Governor Obaseki breaks fast with Auchi Monarch. Let's join Agatha in our Benin Network Center for these and more stories. Nice to see you, Agatha.
You too, Joseph. Good evening and a warm welcome to Benin. As the Ramadan month progresses, Governor Godwin Obaseki has sought the spiritual intervention of the Muslim Ummah in the country. The governor was speaking in Auchi when he joined the Otaru of Auchi, His Royal Highness Alhaji Haliru Momoy Kelebi III, to break Ramadan fast. Goodluck Inaini reports.
Obaseki, who described Islam as a religion of peace, said Ramadan is one of the key pillars of the religion, which must be adhered to in line with the teachings of Prophet Muhammad in order to receive the blessings associated with the period.
We have come to felicitate with you, to show solidarity and support, and to encourage you to continue to pray for our state, for our country, and for our president for speedy recovery.
The Otaru of Auchi expressed gratitude to the governor for identifying with them, just as he applauded the state government's people-oriented programs, particularly the construction of the Agbede Awan Road.
We are creatures of Almighty God, even idolaters.
From Auchi, I am Goodluck Inaini, NTA News.
And the Palace of the Oba of Benin is to work closely with the European Union to provide cultural renaissance and build the tourism potentials in Edo State. This was the outcome of the official working visit of the EU Ambassador Michael Arion to Oba Ewaye II. Expressed concern over the difficulties in accessing the European Union fund and called on the ambassador to do everything within his powers to make the criteria less difficult so that Edo State and Nigeria could benefit. The Benin monarch informed the EU ambassador of his interest in the development of agro-allied industries in the state to help provide jobs for the unemployed youths, as it would stem migration and youth restiveness.
The criteria, the model to pass is such that it's like having to reach for the moon to be able to access the funds.
The EU ambassador, Michael Arion, told the Oba of Benin that he was in the palace to discuss issues of mutual interest to the people of Edo State and Benin Kingdom. Ambassador Arion said the partnership would be in the areas of farming, job creation, health, electricity, and water.
Once we are deciding every 5 years with the NPC, the National Planning Commission, now the Ministry of Budget and Economic Planning, where we should invest those grants.
Ambassador Arion acknowledged the artistic potentials of Benin Kingdom and expressed hopes that the EU would look at the possibility of supporting the movie industry in Nigeria. Now, revitalizing the economy through agriculture will require an efficient synergy between major stakeholders in inhibiting the growth of the sector. Experts shared this view as they expressed optimism that the country is capable of not only feeding itself but surviving economically through the ready-made alternative established by agriculture. Michael Olaleye reports.
Since the drastic drop in oil price in the international market in 2015, the glorious days of the country's economy is gradually being eclipsed with uncertainty, recession and dwindling revenue. The way out, experts say, is in embracing agriculture as pivot for economic resuscitation. Although the platform has been established, but accelerating growth requires the establishment of farm settlements across the country.
Of your house, grow some other crops, maize, yam, and so on and so forth. And you find that everybody be smiling.
Offering academic incentives and strengthening institutions to join the vanguard of revolutionizing agriculture for economic viability and formation of farmers into cooperative groups are some of the recommendations advocated by stakeholders.
make land available for these would-be farmers. Then another important area is the issue of mechanization.
The capacity building to get the best value in agriculture has to begin from infantry.
They are of the view that the gross domestic product of the country should experience a geometric progression if institutions collaborate to make agriculture the mainstay of the Nigerian economy. In Ado-Ekiti, Michael Olaleye, NTA News.
Let's talk sports now with Tamara Ebiwe.
Super Eagles technical advisor Gernot Rohr has assured Nigerian